question. The second-round matchups are set in the East, and we know SA's got his eyes on that Knicks-Heat matchup, which is set to tip off this Sunday on ABC at 1 p.m. Can't wait. Coverage starts with NBA Countdown at 12:30. The Knicks will look to slow down Jimmy Buckets as he averages almost 43 points in the Heat's 3 straight wins over the top-seeded Bucks. Stephen A., do you fear Jimmy Butler?
Well, I wouldn't say fear, but I'm concerned.
Scared?
Jimmy Butler leads all players averaging 37 points per game in this postseason, leads all NBA players in fast break points, averaging over 19 fast break points per game in this season, 4th in the league this year. I'm sorry, led all players with 19.6 points in the paint. Also 4th in the league with fast break points, okay? I get it. I understand. Averaged 20 against the Knicks this year. I get that too. Grimes, who was his primary defender, he's been out the last 2 games with a shoulder injury. He's not going to be, I don't know if he's going to be back. All right, that puts a lot of pressure on Josh Hart. I get all of that. Miami's a damn good team. My brother, Queens in the building, Kenny Smith, he picked the Miami Heat. Shaq, my other brother, he picked Kenny Smith. He picked the Heat. I hear everybody. But let me tell you something right now. R.J. Barrett's been playing great the last 3 games, played all 4 games against the Heat, shot better with 51% from the field. I expect him to show up. Julius Randle, get healthy. I expect you to show up. Jalen Brunson, he shot over 50% with Jimmy Butler guarding him this year. I expect you to show up. New York, stand up. We win in this series. We win in this series in 7 games. Fat Joe, DJ Khaled, and the crew. You hear me talking to y'all right now. We not losing this series. Now, Jimmy Butler's coming. He under Tom Thibodeau, who he played for in Chicago and Minnesota. Okay? Jimmy knows him. Jimmy's coming for him.
Stephen
but
A., is
Tom
Brick
Thibodeau
coming?
is a defensive ace. It's a defensive ace. Jimmy Butler ain't averaging no 37 against the Tom Thibodeau team. We will find a way. We got to rise up. Mitchell Robinson, keep blocking those shots, baby. We got to control the interior. But somehow, some way, we will find a way. We got home court advantage. We're going to split the first 4 games. We're going to win 5.
Yeah.
They're going to win game 6.
We're
coming back to the Garden. And we winning this series.
We're
going to the conference finals.
When you get nervous, do you just keep talking? Is that what happens? Just words come out of your mouth?
We going to the conference finals.
Because you don't want to think. Because when you think, you get nervous. Got it.
New York, stand up.
A scoreboard. Game 6, Trae Young and the Hawks hosting the Celtics, looking to force a Game 7. And Janet Jackson, she had to get pushed back to a Friday night concert because Ice Trae showed up dropping triples.
Trae said, "This is all for you, Miss Jackson." He was doing his best to keep the Hawks alive in this one. Listen, he's had a great couple of games in the course of this series, but Boston Nagandi, just too much.
Yeah, Jalen Brown from the outside. Now, I got to give the Hawks a ton of credit. It looked like at one point they were going to get swept in this series, but they kept on fighting back. And at one point, they're up by 3 in the fourth. The final 5 minutes, though, the Celtics turn it around.
Yeah, that was cute. The Celtics then proceed to go on an 18-6, I believe, run to close out the fourth quarter in the last 5 minutes. Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, been there, done that. Both of them put together 30-point contests. The Celtics are 23-1 when both of them have 30 points.
Tatum with 30 and 14, Brown with 32, Trae Young 30 points, 10 assists, but the Celtics take Game 6 and this series, and up next they've got the Sixers and the big process, Joel Embiid. And when they have to try to deal with Joel Embiid, they have struggled, especially this season, but they have won the regular season series. What's this series going to come down to when you look at the Celtics-Sixers?
Those were some of the funnest games we had.
Oh, yes, they were.
Okay, deep breath. Bear with me here. A lot of this is on the shoulders, or I should say the knee of that guy right there. The health of Joel Embiid is going to be critical to Philadelphia's success, or Boston's success, quite frankly, in this series. Then I just look at the defensive matchups. While Robert Williams, Al Horford, perhaps Grant Williams in an emergency are going to struggle guarding Joel Embiid, I'm not sure who the Celtics have, or excuse me, the Sixers have that can slow the 2 J&Js.
By the way, Embiid dealing with that sprained LCL in the knee. We will see how this plays out. They begin the series May 1st. All right, let's play America's favorite game. Is that McNuts? The Knicks will beat the Heat to reach the Eastern Conference Finals. Is that McNuts?
That is not McNuts, Kevin Nagandi. This has a legitimate chance of happening. Of course, the Knicks are waiting to see how Julius Randle recovers from that ankle twist in Game 5 of the Cleveland Cavaliers series, but this is a team that has grown with its depth. They're getting more out of their bench in the postseason, and they've just got one of the defenses that's the toughest to deal with in the playoffs.
All right, Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, are they on a collision course? Is that McNuts?
Ooh, this one is not McNuts either. I mean, we got a Game 6 in the Sacramento Golden State series that we got to get through. I hope that one goes to 7. But these two, both of their teams have improved markedly since the playoff starts. I think the Golden State Warriors team that we're looking at with the Game 6 coming up is very different from the Game 1 team. And this team looks very similar to the team that won it all last year.
This question brought to you by Dylan Brooks. LeBron needs to drop 40 in Game 6 for the Lakers to put away Memphis. Is that McNuts?
That is McNuts. This one is crazy to me that this would come down to LeBron in this position. Anthony Davis is without a doubt the key in this particular matchup. He needs to have one of those monster double-double performances that the Grizzlies don't have an answer for. Can LeBron do this? Yes, but he shouldn't have to. The entire point of the cast that is around him is to take some of that weight and that pressure off of his shoulders.
And we got you covered. Steph in a closeout game on ESPN tonight. LeBron in a closeout game on ESPN as well. That is tonight. Cannot wait for those matchups. Coming up, Jalen Carter facing elimination at home with the Lakers and LeBron in town. But the question would be, how will LeBron feel after coming off that overtime victory? Well, Ja Morant, it's great to be young. That is Father Time being, of course, unstoppable.
It is a spectacular play, and LeBron almost got a finger on that one too, but still, Morant goes on the top floor to get that play.
Okay, we see some defense here. LeBron on the break, and then Austin Reeves, knowing that LeBron's trailing. Lakers within 12. I mean, they were within 1 point in the third quarter. Anthony Davis had a big night, 31-19.
And he owed LeBron, I said this on yesterday's show, that he owed LeBron a big performance in this game because LeBron saved him in Game 4, and AD delivered.
And then we don't see a lot of Dylan Brooks here the rest of the way. We see a lot of Ja Morant. He was fantastic because they went on a run, 26-2, when it was a 1-point game, and it was the difference in this contest.
It was, and the Lakers might have run out of gas. Certainly LeBron James did. He admitted so afterwards, and now he's got to recharge with a short turnaround for Game 6.
And that Game 6 is tomorrow night on ESPN. LeBron, 5 turnovers last night, 4 of them coming in transition. Also shot under 30% for the game as he missed 8 threes, went 0 for 5 from the floor in the fourth quarter. LeBron afterwards.
Definitely starts for me tonight. I was not very good at all. I think defensively I was pretty good, but offensively I was, not really good. Tonight I was, and I'll be better in Game 6.
Back here with VC and Allen. Vince, how big of a missed opportunity was this? I know they're up 3-2 and they go back to L.A., but they had the chance to do it right now and end this series.
Absolutely. I think it's a huge miss. And you're playing with fire. You're giving a young team that is very confident, in the locker room when you talk about the Memphis Grizzlies. And I think if you close this out, you give LeBron, and as well as AD and everyone else, an opportunity to rest up, to prepare themselves for the next series. So, defensively, I thought they were decent, but fourth quarter, Ja Morant was able to get into their paint whenever they wanted. So that's something that, the Grizzlies are going to look into, particularly going on the road. Can Ja get into the paint to create opportunities for himself and other guys for open shots?
Okay, I mentioned Father Time, undefeated here, catching up with LeBron in the legs here, Allen. Specifically the rest. They had the opportunity to rest for a couple of days. Now they got to win tomorrow night. If not, if this is a 7-game series, it's going to be trouble for the Lakers.
This is must win for the Lakers. They have to win Friday. This is like LeBron James as he did in Game 4. He has got to reach deep somehow, some way, like he's done throughout his entire career, and find that extra energy to put this series away on Friday at home, because if they go back to Memphis, their season is over. Like, they have to look at this themselves as the elimination game, because they know that if they have to go back again, it's short turnaround. Look at that. Game 7 is Sunday. You're playing Friday. You just played last night. There's no time to rest.
And the travel.
And you're flying from LA to Memphis, as we know as well. That's a big part of this. So LeBron has to look at this, and his teammates, who have all talked about how much they are trying to win for him and play for him, they've got to show up as well at home and end this series on Friday.
Vince, as a guy who played in his late 30s in the league and understands that travel, how important is Friday night for the Lakers?
They need to make sure they have all of the compression shorts, the boots. Try to find a cryo machine. I'm talking about whatever you can to make sure that the guys are Theraguns, you name it, everything that you can think of, so the guys can kind of prop their legs up, get their mind right. I'm not without a shadow of a doubt. I think LeBron will be ready and motivated because of his performance. I mean, we've seen him before say, "Oh, I'll be ready." You know, just with the Dylan Brooks thing, he's like, "Hey, I just want to play the game. I'll be ready to go," and he was ready to go. I believe it when he said, "I'll be better and I'll be ready to go."
Vince, were you a cryo guy? What were you doing late in your career?